It's the Sony a6700. Now, this camera is one of those cool little travel cameras that you can use because it's so small, so to the point, and it keeps everything just all in one spot. Plus, it shoots 4K. Let me go over the specs. The Sony a6700 comes with a 26 megapixel APS-C sensor. Now the sensor's a little smaller than the full frame, which is okay. And I think the crop factor is about 1.5 with the Sony models. And so you're still getting a really, really nice camera with a lot going on with that extra megapixel of 26 megapixels. This camera also is set up to shoot 4K. Now I was going through kind of some of the settings, as you can see here, just kind of going through all the different sizes. You have different levels and different flavors of 4K with this, but you're gonna get 4K 60 just as a default. And then there's also like a high-speed feature for the 4K that'll get you at 120 frames per second in camera, which is actually pretty cool. There is a built-in IBIS, that's right, built-in IBIS is set in for this camera, as well as one SD card. And with the Sony a6700, for someone who's traveling and doing vlogs, I threw on the Sigma 10 to 18 millimeter lens. Let's give it a check out here. Okay, there we go. This is the Sony a6700 with the Sigma lens. Now this Sigma lens that I put on here is a 10 to 18 millimeter. And Sigma lenses, obviously, they are a nice addition if you're gonna be vlogging in vlog style, even with this camera, because you have that APS-C sensor. So going in at like a 10 millimeter gives you the equivalent, you know, of something like a 16 millimeter or something in that aspect because of the, you know, you do the math, it's kind of in there. But right now I'm shooting at 4K. We're shooting 4K 24p with a nice reflection here. I'm checking into this lens and just to see how focused it is. It's actually finding my left eye and using that as a focal point here with the a6700. And obviously, you know, I'm just picking up the audio from the camera, you know, whatever happens. But with that wider lens, I don't have any stability turned on. But I mean, you know, you put the right thing in there, it'll be all right. And here's at, since this lens is a zoom lens, you get the ability to zoom into 18 millimeter right here, and then come back to that 10 millimeter here, which is actually fantastic. I'm just making sure that I check the frame real quick. Yeah, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But yeah, this is at 4K. And it's not too bad. I'm checking the corners as well for things like wobble or that sort of thing, especially being this wide with such a small form factor on this body. Perfect travel camera, perfect vlog camera for the size. And putting on the right lens gives you the ability to work around with it. And this lens can get you up to 2.8. And now I just actually put it on a Joby GorillaPod, which I'll put a link to the prices and the sizes. And I think this is the 4K version, but it gives you a little bit more stability even when you're vlogging. The good thing about this though is it takes a lot of that shake out of it, but again, still a great setup. Let's just kind of walk around the store here for a second here. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. The autofocus is still working pretty good, even at this wide lens. It says it may be the fact that this lens is, you know, still trying to keep track with me. So even at 10 millimeter, and I'll put it back to the 18 millimeter, which is a little bit tighter, but still has a good sense of where the lens is and the area around you. Going back wide, you know, you get the rest of the store. You can kind of see the location. Even if I was doing some travel vlogging, this one would be really good because I could point at stuff in the background. You can kind of see it as they're going through. You know what, let's go do a lighting test like I usually do. Go and do the old quick lighting test. Check the exposure and the ISO. Okay, as you know, the usual lighting test. This is just the auto exposure where I'm gonna test here. We go over here, find the light switch. There it is. Let's just do a quick lighting test here, see how it does, especially now that I think the ISO is on auto, yes, and it's getting right at about 125. Let's see how quickly it adjusts. Not bad. Went on up to like 1600 ISO. Over here, it's gonna go like 5000 ISO, I think is where it's going to. So not bad, not bad. Let's go into the darker part of the room. As you see, there's a light right here coming in from that window. Let's see how it does here. It's gonna go up to 5000. I think it's topped out at like 5000 as a top ISO, especially with the auto exposure. Let's see how quickly it comes back. See how quickly, I mean, even here it's at, you know, a moderate number at, what is it, 2000 ISO? So it's kind of adjusting as it goes, which is not bad. Here, it adjusts back down to 125 ISO. So not bad at all, not bad. Now let's try the ISO test. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do all of this manually. Right now, I have the ISO set at 200. Lights out. There's 200 right there. Not bad at all. Let's see if we can manually do this. Going from 200 up to 400. There's 400 ISO. Not bad at 400, even with the wide angle lens. We're gonna go, let's see what we can do here. There's 800 right there. There's 800 ISO. Then let's do the next one. I think it was 1600. Yeah, 1600 right there. There we go, 1600 ISO, which is actually not bad. There's a little bit of red because I have some lights going on in the back. So let's step over here so I don't get any of that red on me. Yeah, there's 1600, and then there is 3200 right there. So that's actually not bad. There is some auto exposure working. I'm at 1/50th of a second, 2.8, shooting at 4K. Pardon me. There we go. The white balance is all kind of wonky too, so just because of that red light that I have over there. Let's see, we're 6400. Right there, there's 6400, so not bad. Even with the smaller APS-C sensor, I am still getting a relatively good shot, even at 6400. All right, so the next one would be 10,000 ISO. It's a little bright, all bright, okay. And then there is 16,000. Wow, that is like night and day difference in here. Even with literally, as you can see, none of the lights are on in here, but at 16,000 ISO, this little sensor is still doing okay. I'm not sure completely about just how much in terms of noise you're getting. Let's see, push in a little bit. There's the 18 millimeter. I'm not really sure how much noise we're getting, but at 16,000 ISO, I'm gonna put it back into the computer and see just how well it works. Okay, and so there you have it. There's your A6700 with the Sigma lens, which is a 10 to 18 millimeter equivalent, giving you this really nice wide shot. And if you're vlogging, you have the freedom, especially with this lens, to punch in just a little bit and to come back out, you know, for group shots and that sort of thing. Nice. And there you go. There is your Sony a6700 testing vlogging setup with any sort of video setup. It's actually kind of a nice, small, little compact setup for you to shoot 4K at 120 frames per second. Nice. Very good travel camera. Go check it out.